Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Maryland Jockey Club at Laurel Park for a Sunday edition of Today at the Races. I'm Dan Ullman along with Keith Fustel. We've got 9 on tap. The main track is fast. The turf is firm. Let's look back at yesterday. Some really nice efforts. Brittany Russell sent out New King to a confidence-boosting victory in a stateside allowance. That horse showed good speed and kept on going.
Yeah, I got off a little bit awkwardly, had a little bump at the brake, accelerated though right to the front. And you said, did you talk to Brittany? Might have lost a shoe during the course of the race.
Lost a shoe during the course of the race as well. Just did it on class. Very impressive. And maybe we found a horse that can go 6-7, a one-turn mile here at Laurel Park. He's a Maryland bred by Into Mischief that cost a lot of money. So plenty of options. Looking forward to seeing what we get from New King down the road. And what about Cake's Arrow?
That was it, yeah. Big effort. You know, I wanted help from Goodbye Note. I got it. Didn't matter. Cake's Arrow just kept on going. My horse just fizzled a little bit down inside. The Jack Fisher runner didn't quite make the run that I expected to make. Wait another day. Cluck again, thriving at the one-turn mile. A big buyer there. 76 for that runner. Lil Regard, another Brittany Russell runner off the break. We had shown that video down at Colonial Downs from that race, the 2-year-old debut. Given plenty of time. Patience paid off. Almost an identical trip as that race.
Took the words right out of my mouth. It was a carbon copy explosion in the stretch from Little Regard. A very exciting talent. That's a New York bred, so maybe we'll see this one up at Saratoga over the summer. They ran a little race called the Belmont Stakes, and guess what? They ran the Derby Try right back.
Right back at you. Sovereignty, just too good. I mean, he worked outward, caught in a little bit between horses around that final turn, but man, he finished with a big kick. That final 3/16 of a mile. Journalism called wide the whole way. I thought ran credibly.
He ran his race.
He's a little bit, he was a little bit fractious pre-race, a little bit amped up, trouble into the first turn, and then an overland trip for him. I'm not going to completely give up, but give credit to journalism. He ran it all 3.
Looking ahead, next week's going to be a huge week at Laurel Park. Of course, you're going to celebrate Father's Day with us on Sunday. Father's Day at the races. Not only do you get a buffet, not only do you get bourbon and cigars, but you get to spend a nice day with Dad at the racetrack. Head on over to laurelpark.com for all of the details and information and ticket information. Should be a wonderful day, Father's Day at the racing. We've got a stakes race for 3-year-old fillies on the turf. We've got 2 special steeplechase races. So it should be a nice day, and let's just hope the weather holds out for Dad.
Oh, let's hope, man. Plenty of good times you've heard me talk in the past with my father at the racetrack. Maybe Connor will come down and join us if he doesn't have to work. We'll see.
Let's take a look at our weather conditions right now. Again, main track fast, turf is firm. It's a nice cool day. The temperature at 71 degrees. Maybe the wind, something to keep an eye on later today. Right now, coming out of the east at 14 miles per hour. Forecast for a few sprinkles. I'm hoping that we can get through it, and I think we will.
Yeah, very comfortable right now. Please, if you can, come out and join us. If not, load up the account and hammer away.
Let's open things up with a 5.5 furlong maiden special weight on the turf for 3-year-olds and up. Take out the 9, Sam the Sham. Take out the main track only runner, the number 10, One True Dude. This is the first leg of the first of 2 value pick 5 wagers. A low 12% takeout for this 50-cent minimum wager. Keith, you've got a ticket for us.
Didn't spread big enough in that first race yesterday. Caught the next 4. Paid okay, over 500. We're going to try this one. I think this is a real tricky sequence. And I had to throw a single in somewhere to make the ticket manageable. 3 deep in the opener, 4, 5, and 7. Gung Ho, a little stat on that one. I think we might have a stat on Danner as well. I'm going to go ahead and single Sassafras in race number 2. Scratch the 3. Danny's Rhythm. Race 3 with the 1, 3, and 7. Some value. I'm taking a real shot off a long layoff with Tanka Tough. Race 4, 2, and 3. Feel the Bolt. She's a hot mess for Jason Smith. And we'll complete this early value pick 5 ticket with the 1, 8, and 10. Watch Out World, been part of some pretty demanding flows. Outside, inside angle might just work. Got a couple other little prices to toss in there, but it's a $27 early value pick 5. Again, 12% low takeout.
Fascinating opening race because you've got horses coming off lengthy layoffs, horses trying turf for the first time, some speeds in this race. Let's talk about your top selection, the number 4, Gung Ho. We do have a trainer stat for Arnaud Delacour.
Yeah, last 3 years, dirt to turf, second career start, 4 for 10. You would have thought he might have had more starters. No, it's a smaller sample. but a strong strike rate with an ROI. Look at that, $6.15. I'm keying around both horses making their turf debut today. The 4 and the 5, a gung-ho, a little bit of against the grain in that dirt debut at Pimlico. Kadar Joran, it was a solid field. We can go back now and call it a kind of pretty key race, I guess. Even Privet came back to run a big
and
number.
Furmantown won.
And Furmantown won. But gung-ho flashed a little lick. Chase, there is turf within this family. Half Sib did win an allowance at like a 7.5 two-turn. Is that one turn at Woodbine?
Woodbine's a one-turn.
That's a one-turn. Okay. But
I'm
it.
sorry, 7.5's on the inner two turns.
Two turns. Okay. Got it done there. So proven turf, even a little bit deeper, second dam within that family. So gung-ho, the stat for Delacour. Slight edge. I do like Danner a little bit. This 5-horse coming in for Robbie Bales. Turfway Park last time out. Called in that flow. A long battle. Little drift. Now coming to the turf. What do you think of the 5 Danner?
I'm going to go with Danner on top in here as kind of a guess. This horse hasn't run in 513 days, and maybe this distance is going to be sharp. Perhaps this is a prep for something longer down the road, especially considering the pedigree. We do have a trainer stat for Robbie Bales, however. First off, the trainer switch, 29%, $2.80 return on investment. I just thought Danner ran against perhaps better competition in his first 2 starts. In his debut, he ran against Carbone, who came right back to win at Oaklawn on dirt with an 86 buyer speed figure. You mentioned the improvement at Turfway, a race that produced a couple of next out winners. The 3rd place horse winning at Turfway with an 82 buyer speed figure. Danner gets blinkers on. I'd like to see him at least stay within stalking range, because I think the 3 and the 2 are going to show some early speed.
There is some serious lick in this field. Karma's in the house. If he breaks, he's going to get up and go. And I do think he'll clear this field. Once again, Bold Mirage, first time gelding with some speed. But Danner's interesting. The Omaha Beach is about 13% sprinting on the turf. You go down second dam, 1 debut sprinting on the turf in Kentucky with a very strong 87 buyer speed figure. So I go 4-5, 5-4. They're the horses I'm going to work around. Potcake's a horse we talked about prior to the show. Barn we caught not too long ago. Sarah Nagel with a runner on the turf. Nakamura, I think Nakamura came back to win. Potcake, you like that debut run?
I thought this horse showed a little bit of ability in his debut. He didn't break very well. He was saving ground in mid-pack, but it looked like he was moving very smoothly, and he had to alter course very sharply to get off the rail, and I think he was just so green he started drifting out and then lugging in, and he still ran on to be 3rd that day. They ran him on dirt last time. I just draw a line through that race. That's not his surface. He returns to turf for a turf barn with Lasix on, and if this pace gets hot, I think it could, this horse might come with a strong kick under Jockey Jorge Ruiz.
Sarah Nagel got Lothario to win off a 252-day break last year. She's 2 for 5 with this kind of move over the last couple of years with an ROI of 340. I think Potcake is going to be ready to roll. First Lasix, Georgie Ruiz to make a run. Going to like this setup he gets today.
4, 5, 7, and 3 for Keith. 5, 3, 2, and 7 for me in the opener at Laurel Park, the first leg of our value pick 5. Race number 2, 6 furlongs on the main track. This is a claiming race for fillies and mares 3 and up, which have never won 2 races. Claiming range 40 down to 32. Take out the 3, Danny's Rhythm. I want to talk about your top selection in this race. That's the number 5, Sassy Frasness. This is the first leg of our 50-cent pick 4. We've got 3 on the day, early, middle, and late. Sassy Frasness is a horse that I think has shown potential in her career, and we have a video spotlight.
Yeah, we'll go back to the most recent race at Delaware Park. The debut was really good over this track, and it just maybe bit off a little bit too much in the second start. But this effort at a big number, 32-1. Caught inside, and I was going to go outside and work between rivals. That's the other nest. It's going to get it done. Central Casting on the front end. But look at the finish. Closes up about 5 lengths this final 1/8 of a mile. Got out maybe in a little bit better part of the racetrack. But just seemed more focused this particular day. Just didn't fire at all 2 races back. The debut was good. She beat Seaside Road. That horse is kind of improved form for Katie Voss. 3rd in allowance last week with a 64 buyer. Looking at the setup, I think it's going to be there. Country Club couple, I think fresh to show some speed. Melancia can be close. Ezro showed more speed with the blinkers going on last time out. Sassafras, I like the spot here to sit mid-pack and make a run.
I got to look at Sassafras in the paddock. 2 starts back. Really nice looking filly, solid pedigree, and it looks like she's getting better and better with every start. Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez, of course, dependable connections. The number 2, Melancio, we're going to learn a lot more about this horse because this horse really jumped up from a speed figure standpoint last time out. It was an off-turf 5/8 of a mile race. Sometimes it's tough to take those 5/8 of a mile Buyers speed figures at face value. It was also over a wet track. We do have a trainer stat for Rob Atras, however. Last out maiden winners, 13 for the last 57, 23% at 256 ROI. So Rob knows where to place these sort of horses. Now, this horse was entered and scratched at Monmouth on May the 25th, comes back 2 weeks after that entry. I think we're going to see some speed from this horse. If Country Club Couple doesn't get away well from the rail, I think Melancio and Daniel Centeno have to take the bull by the horns and try to wire this field.
This horse through the binoculars finished up better than what I expected last time. I know backing up in distance, and a couple of those races up in New York produced horses that ran well in their next out. So Melancio, and maybe the light bulb just kind of went on. You're right. You're looking at that glaring jump up from a Buyer speed figure. She had 7 races under her belt prior to that one, but it all clicked at Pimlico. See if it transfers to Laurel Park.
Chased by the Moon is double dropping in class, Keith. It's always important to look at the conditions of today's race and then go back and take a look at the horses that were in last time because Chased by the Moon was in against much tougher.
Yeah, and I like shortening up. Over a fast track 2 races back at Laurel Park. Ran down the loose leader and just cruised to get it done. Big jump up, turning back to a dry surface. This is the one that Robbie keeps in. I like the price we're going to get. Again, stalk and pounce kind of trip.
Last time out, she was wired by a 7-time winner, Sister Supreme. Now she drops into a non-winners of 2 life. The runner-up from that last race came back, ran 3rd at Delaware with a 58 Buyer. Just a nice fit at this class. So let's talk a little bit about Just Heart, the number 7. A horse going turf to dirt, 2nd off the layoff, and 2 starts back ran into a pretty solid horse. The winner of that race came back and earned stereo 83 Buyer speed figures in the next 2 starts in New York.
Okay. I missed that. That moves that one up even a little bit more. I definitely have to use Just Start. Still a little bit of a protect off of that claim for 16, raised up to 25 good. Toss the turf. Enough speed to kind of maybe get in range by the 3/8. I don't know if she's quite as quick as a few of these others, but I think can ramp up a run.
Keith's going to go with Sassafras, the number 5 in here, 5, 4, 7, and 2. I'm hoping that maybe Melancio can get to the front and slow things down just a bit, but I have to use the 5 in multis. 2, 5, 7, and 6 for me in race number 2. Race number 3 is at 1 mile and a 16th on the turf. It's a claiming race for fillies and mares 3 and up, which have never won 2 races. The claiming price is 16 down to 12.5. This field stays intact. We like to see that. 12 horses in this race. The first leg of our middle 50-cent pick 4 wager. Let's start things off with the number 1 Sea Shanty. This is my top selection in this race. We have a video spotlight for Sea Shanty, making her first start off of a lengthy layoff. And Keith, this is a race where the pace really sped up the 3rd quarter. 24.24 third quarter. Sea Shanty is on a hard chase to go after a horse that's eventually going to tire and finish 4th. And maybe she just felt, A, the effects of the layoff in the stretch. This was her first start off of a lengthy 202-day break. And B, she got run down by a pretty decent horse in Bossy Boots.
It's fairly demanding. You talk about that. You got to read into those internals sometimes. You're looking at a horse at a 2 in life at a $16,000 level off of a break. This is a good average. Yeah, we got a little bit of a hang, maybe late, but all in all, really good. Gets back to the inside, and if you notice, and you're allowed to do this now, the wave, uses the waiver.
Double wave.
Yeah, not last time. Okay, was
That's
in
a good sign.
And I like the protect move here for the connections.
Tonka Tough is where you're going, and Tonka Tough is a really interesting case. 616-day layoff. The last time this horse ran on the flat, Tonka Tough looked good winning and parlayed a really nice tactical perfect trip. But if you look at some of the point-to-point races that Sean McDermott likes to use, they ran this horse on November the 2nd going a mile, and guess what? 3 weeks ago, they ran this horse 1 mile and 3/4, so maybe it's not a 616-day layoff. I trust this barn. I think Tonka Tough's going to show up fit and ready to go.
Ruiz gets along with her just fine, and I've been chasing Sean McDermott's horses for a while now. He's going on the go back. Boy, he snuck a couple in at some nice prices. Looking at the flow of this field, I think she's going to be fairly close. I think she can go ahead and stalk and move into it. She's got the bottom under from some of those little preps that you just talked about. Why not? I'll take a shot. I'm probably crazy. A 600. What'd you say?
16-day layoff, but
okay.
only
I need to have my head examined.
Only at first glance.
All
If
right.
you think those point-to-point races count, it's a lot less. It's the 3-week layoff.
And the blinkers did make a
Interesting,
little
yes.
bit of a difference on the go back. When you look at that race back at Colonial, I know it's back in 23, but the blinks went on and a top effort right there. And I should correct myself. Sea Shanty, I believe, was in for the waiver last time, wasn't eligible to be claimed.
Cha-Cha Tap, the number 3, is another horse getting the old double drop in class. This horse faced a 6-time winner last time out in Precious Avery, a horse that came back to run second in a first-level allowance with a 75 buyer. Cha-Cha Tap was 81-1 and ran like it. Just couldn't step with those horses. But returning off the layoff from this non-winners of 2 life heat, all she needs is a little pace to do some running.
Connections just didn't want to lose her, I guess. I mean, they just kept throwing her into really, really tough competition, even against the boys in that 45,000 2 in life. The only time the horse was, not protected. So, or I should say, I think Cha-Cha Tap against this group certainly works. Yeah, even off this little break. The drop is tremendous.
You think Steam Knot makes the lead in here, the number 10?
I do.
Sarah Del Fabro just excellent with horses on the lead. She's been doing very, very well at Delaware Park recently. And Steam Knot, the 14th time was the charm last time out. It was a race where Sarah gave the horse a really nice ride, backing down the fractions, almost a 25-second second quarter. Speed held in that race. This is a tougher spot.
Yeah, but it was a little bit of a tell off the layoff. 2 races back on the page between November and May. That last 3/16 of a mile, you thought she was just going to lay down. She didn't lay down. She dug back in, and she did it again last time out to break the maiden to resurge to get it done. That was a good effort. She could get brave. She gets away with some softer flows against this kind of a group. I think she's going to show some heart.
7-3-1-11 for Keith, 1-3-7-2 for me in race number 3. Race number 4, 6 furlongs on the main track. It's a maiden claimer for fillies and mares. 16 down to 12.5. Maryland breds eligible for the $20,000 claiming price. This is the first leg of our 20-cent Chesapeake Pick 6 jackpot wager. We have a carryover into the Chesapeake Pick 6. We're growing, closing in on $5,000. If you're the only one to take down the last 6 races on the card, you get the entire pool. We agree in here on the number 3. She's a Hot Mess. I thought She's a Hot Mess ran in spots last time out, and I think the Lasix is just going to really move her up.
That's the key. And Lasix going on. He's very small sample with the experienced runners. Jason Smith, I'll throw it at you, though. 1 for 4, 3 for 4 in the money the last couple of years. But that's not, I just don't think she has to improve much. The second effort was much better than the first. A couple different moves in that race against similar. Lasix going on. That's enough of a positive. And I think she can stay close enough because Lorraine's Way looks like the one that's going to go ahead and try to steal it on the front of it. I think she can keep that one close enough before going and getting her.
Yeah, and Lorraine's Way, remember, last time I just checked those fractions she set. She went 25 and 49 in a 6 furlong race. I think if Jean Braceno wants to go with She's a Hot Mess, you can at least get
That's
close,
fine.
as you mentioned,
Yeah.
or go right to the top if you can. Again, she showed some speed last time out. She was in between horses. She dropped back, and then she re-rallied on the rail. I like horses that make 2 moves, especially with Lasix on next time out. Feel the Bolt is the number 2. This horse I thought ran okay last time out, finishing second, actually ahead of She's a Hot Mess. She ran a more complete race.
She did. I think she was out there in the clear. I was surprised she got bet down like that. But, seeing what the prices are, I'm hoping She's a Hot Mess again holds more value. I think she will when it's all said and done. But, you look at this race. 2, 3, 4, 7. Okay, just take the best value. I'm going to key the 3 more than likely, unless somebody just kind of goes off the rails and gets forgotten about in the wagering.
The Spirit of Truth, the 7, can win this race. I've just lost way too much money on her. I can't go back to her at what could be a short price. Last time out, maybe that slow pace worked against her. We had it as a speed day in our handicapping guide. She tracked 3 wide, but I just expected a little bit more, even against that sort of slow race flow. Again, I don't think the pace is going to be blazing in here, and she's outside. It's going to be another good stalking trip. Maybe this is the spot, but again, I'm getting a little tired of her act.
As I am with a few of these, yes.
And Lorraine's Way, of course, showed that speed last time, and at least it was off a layoff. Maybe she'll be sharper second time back. But we're both going to go with She's a Hot Mess. 3-2-4-7 for Keith, 3742 for me in race number 4. 4 down, 5 to go. We're going to take a little bit of a break, and then when we return, it's the first leg of our late value pick 5. Welcome back to Today at the Races. I'm Dan. He's Keith. Race number 5 is at 5.5 furlongs on the turf with the second wire finish. 3 and Up, which have started for a claiming price of 25 or less, and which never won 2 races, or claiming price 25.20, and which never have won 2. Take out the 5, Master Munning. Scratch the 6, El Junior. First leg of our late value pick 5, low 12% takeout. Best bet in the industry, the value pick 5s here at Laurel Park. Our colleague and friend Callie Francois has a ticket for us.
It's a Callie ticket. Look at that, just kind of flows right top to the bottom, all the way down to a single in race 9. 1489, and yeah, this is a spready kind of a race in race number 5. This tricky little turf sprint. 5.5. Watch Out World, yes. The 4, Gentle Breeze. Agent Kelly, I definitely like. Spiralizer there for Jamie Ness. Race 6, 3 deep with the 5, 6, and 7. Another bit of a scramble in race number 6. Race 7 with the 4, 7, and 8. Head of the class, a horse I like today. We'll talk about that one in a little bit. Race 8 with the 5 and the 7. Blow by them. There's Kieran again and Brittany Russell. All comes down. If she gets through those
Dramatic
4,
single.
The single. Italiano Kid. All right. At a really good price, 8-1 morning line. We are definitely using that horse in the mix, Dan. It's a $36 late value pick 5 for Callie Francois.
And we'll talk about your top selection in the first leg of the late pick 5, and that is the number 8, Agent Kelly. We have a video spotlight for Agent Kelly, who finally got it done.
Yeah, Agent Kelly. This is a good effort. I thought, tracking the pace off the break from early November to early May. Pimlico Racecourse. Always tough. You got a bigger field. You got to break in between horses, but escaped any kind of trouble early. Worked up just behind the leaders, shifts out, and really sustains nicely. What's interesting here is blinkers were on for this race for Boniface, and this horse is going off the claim first time now in the barn for Jonathan Maldonado and Schenkel. Cheek pieces going on. This is a move we're familiar with, though, with Schenkel, Rudy Sanchez, Solomon. I think this horse can step it up just a little bit more. Second off the break. Again, there is some flow. Makes a run into it.
You make a really great point. Usually in a situation like this, an equipment change off the win, you say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But we've seen it so many times with this barn that it doesn't bother me that much. And this just seems like a very reasonable spot, and the non-winners at 2 life off of the layoff. I must admit, I've never been a big fan of the number 1 Watch Out World, but I do appreciate that this horse is double dropping in class. Got wired last time out by a 3-time winner in Bourbon Boss. Watch Out World, I think has enough tactical speed to either make the lead, tuck into the pocket, and then hope for the best.
Yeah, outside to inside. You hear me talk about that move. 9 posts, 12 posts the last 2 times. Had to be used early.
Yeah.
Got that position, and just faded a little bit the last 1/8 of a mile. This is an easier group. Inside, as you say, you want to stay, you want to go. Velo Lobos, he's going to make the right call here in the opening 3/16 of a mile, just avoid any trouble in the turn. He should stay in the mix against this group.
Yeah, I just did a lot of the dirty work last time out chasing Bourbon Boss, and I think this time around either you're going to go and right to the front or let someone else do the work and save something for the stretch. Please talk to me about the 10, Twirling Express. 3rd start of the form cycle here. Very interesting selection. I thought an improved performance last time. Is this a horse that's just racing herself back into shape?
Well, we saw Upside Down Man come back to win it with improved buyer of a 70. Let's see if this one can carry on a little bit more improvement. I just like the fact, we're going to give Georgia Ruiz today. No fault with the ride last time out. 3rd off of a break, but the ability to go back on the page. This horse has made moves from further back. I love to see. Let everybody go. Just drop to the inside. Plenty of room to get to the head of time to get to the head of the lane, and then make a decision from there. This horse, I think, can definitely bring a finish. You're looking at a 12-1 morning line. Might come down a touch with a few of these scratches. works for me with that run off the pace.
Lou's Birthday, the number 7, is a horse that I want to give another chance to. He finished ahead or behind? Let's see. Finished last time out against Bourbon Boss on turf, 2 starts back. I thought that was a good effort at Laurel. We saw Bourbon Boss come back and beat Watch Out World. It was a wet turf course. This horse had a tough post 11. I'd like to see him get one more opportunity, especially if there is some pace for him to attack. What about Gentle Breeze, the 4? This is a horse who was entered and scratched on December the 1st, has to come off of a long layoff, but has shown sharp speed.
Has shown sharp speed. Will he be able to kind of clear? I don't know. Fear Nothing has shown speed recently on the main track. He's another one. You got the brothers running, the half sibs here, the 1 and the 2 right next to each other. Watch Out World and Fear Nothing. I think Night Preacher with blinkers going on. I think this pace will be contested. I really do. You gained last time. Might hang on for a piece.
Excellent way to kick off our late value pick 5 with a 12% takeout. Just a wide open race. 8, 1, 10, and 2 for Keith. 1, 8, 7, and 4 for me. Race number 6, 5.5 furlongs on the turf. Maiden Claimer 16 down to 12.5. Maryland Bred's eligible to run for the 20. Take out the AEs 13 through 16. Leaves us with a big and bulky field of 12 to kick off our final 50-cent pick 4. We also have the Jackpot Super High 5. Carryover $7,500 in the Jackpot Super High 5, and good luck in this race. I hope you hit it, because if you do, you might be the only one in a 12-horse field of maidens sprinting on a lawn.
You might deserve more than $7,450 if you catch this one. This is a doozy. I caught a little flack, but I took Pop in debut, Pozo.
Ran
took
well?
Play and ran well against the grain of the racetrack by Editorial. Like that guy first time. Editorial's very good first time out. But even on the turf, I'll let you got a little stat I know talking about Pozo.
Well, let's watch Pozo's video. Spotlight of the debut. Okay. You like this horse that day, and you're right. Gets wired over a speed favoring track, and not only that, very game to get up for second, and finished ahead of 5 of the horses he's going to be facing again this afternoon. I like this late kick. You mentioned Editorial. Editorial's a half-brother to Uncle Mo by Warfront, so he's got a big pedigree. He's 3 for 10 with first-time turf runners. The Third Dam was a multiple graded stakes winner on the turf, and I think Ferris Allen had a winner at Parks yesterday.
Awesome.
Or out of town.
Let's keep it rolling. Come on, Ferris. I thought that race was really good. Because I was wide around the turn. I said, he's just not going to. He picked it back up that last 3/16 of a mile with Yetzit, who's back on today. I think she can be close enough early and finish. There's a lot of different angles working in this race. Some strangers. I thought the 10, Princess Clemmy.
So talk about a trainer that won a race yesterday. Suzanne Satenius got one at Delaware.
Yeah, it was good to see her. I lost a little respect. She was talking to my man over there, but
I saw that.
No. But Suzanne does a great job. The family, that's the key for the 10, and I'm going to run through a couple of the siblings. This is going to be the first try on the turf. Railmaster, Daniel Ledoux, Prince Pear. I don't need to say anything else other than that. Blinkers on, LASIKs on, lots of changes. If you're looking for some value, there it is. What do you got? 15-1 morning line with Villalobos.
And again, the old Andy Beyer angle. Improved speed second time out is often a good angle, and I think Princess Clemmy's slowly figuring the game out. You're right. This is the surface where she should flourish, and she's going to be a good price. Talk about a good price. The 12 Holy Brick. Holy Brick. First 3 starts on dirt. Buyers 0, 0, 0. I'm going to make excuses.
Okay.
Debut at Timonium. A lot of horses don't like that bull ring, especially first time out. Throwing it out. Second time out, runs against an odds-on horse. It's 2 to 5 that runs off the screen. I'm assuming Holy Brick was in a little bit tough. Last time out, long layoff, sloppy track.
Okay.
I want Holy Brick maybe on turf in this race, and we do have a trainer stat from Milan Milosevic. Second after 120 to 180 day layoffs on turf, limited positive data. 3 for the last 10, 30%, a $2.88 ROI. That June 1st workout matches up with Cha-Cha Tap, who's in for Milosevic earlier today. Maybe they worked in company. Listen, this horse is going to be a huge price.
I love it. I mean, this is what you're going to get in these races. They'll pop up, and they're going to pay handsomely. I throw the 2 in. Third Tuesday, 6-1 morning line for Matilda Burnham, for Jonathan Maldonado, Joanne Schenkel. Combo. Okay try on the dirt last time. A little bit of improvement. This one has a full brother, 2 for 3 in the turf, in the money, I should say, topped at a 55. There's enough turf breeding there to warrant a chance. Pozo, I'm going to use the 3 and the 10. That's how I'm playing the race. I'm keying those two, top and bottom. I am now going to toss in your 12 only. But the first play might be just the all play, 310 with all.
I don't want to count out the 9, Mil McCall, a horse going out for a Red Heart Barn, Niall Saville, and we have a trainer stat for the number 9. First-time starters, 3 for the last 15, almost an $11 return on investment. Yeah. This is a daughter of 1,000 words, a $15,000 yearling, a $27,000 yearling buyback. The dam's a half to a multiple stakes place dirt runner. And again, that last workout, it matches up with Saville's mainstream sellout, a horse that's run a 70 Beyer speed figure on the turf. Maybe, I don't know for sure, perhaps they worked in company. Gets an aggressive rider in the X-Man. You usually don't see these two team up recently. I think X-Man's going to have this horse out of there early.
And one more to talk about real quick. T-Rose, 3-1. You want to get more value than that. Maybe a little bit mad at her because of that race last time out of Pimlico in the Pozo race. I expected more. We didn't get it, but she's run credibly enough on the turf you can't completely dismiss. And along with La Sasanach.
Absolutely.
Those are a couple horses. But again, pick a horse or two, play them with the field. I think your first ticket, if you're playing the exact, you're going to have to take a look at race 6. I will key the 3 and the 10. Dan, how do you approach it? I'm going to
be playing just a little bit of money on the 12, certainly. But this is a race where I'm playing the pick 5. Obviously, you cannot not play the 12% value pick 5. I'm using the 3. I'm using the 12. I'm using the 9. Those are the 3 horses I'm going to focus on. I'll probably play exacta boxes. I want to try to get Holy Brick into it. But let's get Pozo home for Pop Pop. All right. 3, 10, 2, and 6 for Keith. 3, 12, 9, 4 for me in race number 7. And good luck if you're playing the jackpot. Super high 5. Let's move on now to race number 7. Race number 7 is at 3/4 of a mile. It's a maiden claiming race for 3 and up, 25 down to 20. Maryland breds eligible for the $30,000 price. And again, a nice full field in here. We've got a field of 9. I want to start out with your top selection in here, the number 8, head of the class, going out for Kieran McGee.
This is a horse I like, and I like a lot. We'll see what happens, but Double D stable, Kieran McGee. Let's go right to the video. Penn National last time. Now, this horse took a lot of play, disappointed at 2-5 off the break at Laurel. Look at this start. This horse has had some issues at Pimlico. Stumbled, start, bolted. Maybe not all together. They're kind of like me, but does recover and makes a pretty good run up inside. Now, the blinkers went on with this runner last time out and had the extension blinker on. Right. No bolt. This horse made a move up inside. Is going to go ahead and chase. Has to actually pause a little bit, if I'm not mistaken, right here.
Oh, right here.
And a little bit of a check into the turn. Recovers. Still shows heart, stays inside, and the jock does a good job, Crispin, to be able to keep this one kind of straight into the lane. No kind of goofy action. I thought willing at least to mid-stretch before a fade. This guy, it's the speed of the speed. Let's pop. Let's go ahead of the class.
Yeah, and this horse, again, legit buyer last time out. I thought third-place finisher, came back, earned a 58 in his next start at Penn National. You're right. This horse did not have a good trip last. I like the outside post.
Oh,
break
I love
and
the
go,
outside
and if
post
somebody
today.
else wants to go speed crazy, like the 2 Mr. On High or anybody, let's say, he can sit outside and in the clear in a very comfortable position. The 3 is Preacher Myers, my topic. I don't like Preacher Myers. I love Preacher Myers in this race today. This horse made his debut at 72-1 in a $45,000 maiden claimer. Kind of hustled up to track a pretty solid pace along the rail, was under urging on the turn, but finished with some interest and a nice little gallop out. Now we're getting blinkers. I think we're going to get more focus for Hammy Smith, and we do have a trainer stand, I believe, for Hammy. Second out maiden, 6 for the last 24, 25% to 280 ROI. I do believe this barn is going to heat up. Hazelwood retains the mount, and I think this one's going to be close to the pace.
Are we giving away our bets right here?
We might be
again?
dueling one more time.
Again, my man Lee Christian. It was good to see him down at the Ellery Trials back in March, and Lee's had some success with also absolute bearing. 4 winning siblings for Preacher Myers, including North Highland, who was a pretty good horse. Yeah, I like this one too. This showed a couple different moves last time out. The drop should put him right into the mix.
What about attention to detail? Shipping down from Monmouth Park for Kelly Breen. This horse got wired over a speed favoring track at Monmouth Park last time out. Was a little awkward out of the gate, tracked outside, very late to change leads, but kept on trying.
Yeah, and I reported gelding. Interesting, quick back. Yeah. Kelly Breen's does a really good job year in and year out. But in Maryland, he struggled of late. 2 for 34 the last 3 years on the dirt in Maryland. Maybe this is the one that gets him back to the winner's circle.
And I do not want to completely dismiss the number 7, Edelweiss, going out for Lacey Gaudet and getting Lasix for the first time. I think we have a trainer stat for Lacey, second off the claim. 12 for the last 44, 27%, almost a $3 ROI. This horse was claimed, ran a good third in the first start for the barns, been freshened up, and again, Lasix might be the key. I'm expecting a good kick.
I am. I'm just a little bit surprised with the Lasix going on as well as this horse ran. I thought off the claim, we're going to drop down a touch. Interesting move, trying to get things cranked up here in the barn. Maybe that's what it's going to take. But Edelweiss, last couple have been all right.
8, 3, 5, and 7 for Keith. 3, 5, 7, and 8 in a fun maiden race. Race number 7. I really like this card as we're talking about it even more. I liked it going in. I like it even more now. Race number 8's the first leg of our late daily double. It's at 7/8 of a mile. It's for 3-year-olds and up, which have started for a claiming price of 25 or less and which have never won 2, or the 25 to 20 claiming option, which have never won 2. Scratch the 1, part of the entry, twice gold. Scratch the 3, lifting. I want to talk about your top selection in here. That's the number 5, Blow By 'Em. I believe we have a trainer stat for Blow By 'Em.
We've got a trainer stat. Let's go right to it.
Kieran McGee, and this is before the weekend he's had, which has been very, very good. 5 for 14, 36, 324. This barn's been on fire.
Yes. I mean, he's just been steady, Eddie, for so long. But I got another one to kind of talk about. The last 3 years on the dirt sprints at Laurel. He's 21 for 60, 35%, 46 for 60 in the money with those ascending buyers. The last 3 buyer figures up, up, and up. ROI 297. And when you kind of take it between like the 10K and 40K level, he's 38%. Really good. This horse is going in the right direction. He really surprised me 2 races back, getting it done. Had a little bit of a trip, but caught wide and could sustain that run on the left lead. Just faced too tough last time. Maybe kind of drugged to that number, but all in all, I still thought it was a fair enough effort. And 7/8, it could be tricky. You're going to time this run just right.
But Verifier just is a stakes horse in the making, and Saxton came back from his last race to win with a 79 buyer speed figure. My only concern, as you mentioned it, this horse doesn't change leads in the stretch. And maybe going 7, that could be an issue, but just from a speed figure standpoint, this horse is a logical threat. Tetched is a horse making the first start off the Anthony Farrier claim, and I like the fact that this horse is going turf to dirt. We have a video spotlight for the number 2, Tetched, and I believe we're going back to his race 2 starts back. His most recent effort on dirt. We ran against 2 next out winners, one of them States United, one with a 74 buyer speed figure. Tetch had to alter course down to the inside, but never stops running, going the long stretch of the 1-turn mile.
Yeah, and this is difficult. Sometimes horses, they make that steady progress in the lane, and when you have to alter course, it's tough just to keep going. This guy did. You know, he's staying on the correct lead here past mid-stretch. States United, a key horse, came back, paid a good number recently at Delaware for Kieran McGee. This is a good effort getting back to the main track today. He's Tetched off the claim for Farrier.
This is Farrier's move. First off the claim, turf to dirt, 7 for the last 19, 37%, a 267 ROI. Tetched is a tactical horse. Going to have to break from the rail, but again, I like horses cutting back from route races to 7/8 of a mile. I think this horse is an excellent fit. Barong was out for Brittany Russell. This horse got wired by the favorite over a wet track last time out, debuted at Charlestown and blew him away.
Yeah, maybe just got the confidence right off the bat at CT, because you're seeing a horse at what they paid for, and you're like, showed up there. You're starting to wonder. But now, a little bit of a protect move in the 3rd career start. Let's go to the video spotlight for this one at Hi-Ho Pimlico.
Yeah, Barong in here, first time against winners, just was placed in a very good spot in the $25,000 non-winners at 2, and he just got wired by Metaguch, who I think appreciated this wet track and appreciated getting out to the lead. Barong fell behind early. Remember, in the debut at Charlestown, it was 2 turns. This is 1 turn, but this is a nice late kick. Far, far back, so much room to make up, and the horse makes up a lot of ground.
And Metaguch much quicker than the horses, that he had faced at Charlestown, but he does a good job. I mean, easily the field was going to kind of get away from him around the turn, which he did. But Alters out here for this final furlong, I thought finished up quite well. More relaxed flow, not as demanding early. Brittany Russell, here's a trainer stat. Third career start.
19 for the last 55. 35% at $2.48 ROI for a horse that just has a ton of upside potential. I want to talk about Gray Flannel Boss a little bit because you've got this horse in the mix. Another horse going turf to dirt for a barn that's having a really nice year.
I'm forced myself into using this horse because of the way it ran 3 races back. I've been waiting for the horse to get back on the main track. Its field is tricky. It's tough. Tetched was in that race 3 races back. Was clear, 3 or 4 lengths clear of him. But you know what? He looked done again. Mid-turn, came back to show real willingness through that last 1/8 of a mile. It's a barn. These horses run. Gary Holbein's horses are running. That light ball went on there. I've been waiting for him. I think at the price you're going to get, maybe not a win bet. Zactus tries and supers again for Gray Flannel Boss. I wanted to ask you, because I'm going back and forth, trying to envision how this race is going to set up. Is Joe the Jet the quickest horse with the blinkers going on?
I think Joe the Jet's got to show speed in here. Even at 7/8 of a mile, showed speed on turf. Last time out, 3 back. At the best races have come on the lead. I think Joe the Jet's going to the front, but there are at least some tactical horses. The pace should be fair.
Okay. Yeah, I think he could stay. His best number was on the wet surface. But I think he can stay against this group.
5, 7, 4, 1A for Keith. 2, 5, 7, and 6, and we'll round it out with race number 9. 5.5 furlongs on the turf. Maiden Claimer 25 down to 20. Maryland Bred's eligible for the 30. Another big, full, competitive field of 11. Let's start with your top selection, the number 11, That's Tap. We have a video spotlight.
Yeah, I liked this horse last time out. It was really good 2 races back. This is not good out of the gate. Just kind of got him off of his game. He got bounced around a little bit from both sides. Bing, bing, a little bit of a pinball action. And then he just never got involved. I expected a little bit more run out of him. Just the way that he ran 2 races back, that was a really big effort. Enduring Goal was the favorite. He made a run at that one. Enduring Goal just a little too good. But, man, he ran dead game to the wire, clear of Elon. I'll give him another shot. He's out in the clear here. Shouldn't have those issues out of the gate. He's got enough speed to stay close and finish up.
And a little class relief should go a long way after getting beat by Enzo last time. You mentioned the favorite 2 starts back. So 2 favorites have beaten this horse. This is a nice fit. Transactional Guy is the number 6, and it's a first-time starter for Brittany Russell. This is a horse that sold for $165,000 and is being dangled for $25. And a lot of times you look at that and you say, I don't like it. But with Brittany, she puts her horses where they can win. Transactional Guy is a half to a stakes place dirt router that won the career debut. The Dam's a half to a stakes place turf horse. The second Dam was a stakes winning turf router. The last workout at Fairhill matched up with the sprinter that won yesterday, Little Regard. I don't know if they worked in company. Maybe they didn't. But Transactional Guy is by a winnerly sire in McLean's Music and doesn't have to be all along to win this race.
And there is a debut winner within this family out of 4 starters. Take the 5th. Another horse, I think, gets a little bit of a relief here. Nakanora's came back to run big. Italiano Kid. It's another one we talked about before the show. I think Irvin, he's done a pretty good job with these horses. Came back last time out at Pimlico. Didn't have the cleanest of trips from the head of the lane home, but really finished up well behind Agent Kelly. If I like Agent Kelly in against some winners, I got to like the horse
Agent Kelly
here.
was the favorite that day, and Irvin Flores sent out a 13-1 winner, Bossy Boots. We saw that one on May the 24th. I think this is another wide open race. 11, 4, 5, 6. We'll see if Brittany can get it done. I think we have a stat for Brittany that I forgot to show with Transactional Guy. First-time starter, Maiden Claimer, 6 for the last 15, 40%, 252 ROI. So that's it for us with race number 9. But first we'll do our value plays.
I'm telling me, I got a hunch. I didn't look at your value play, but I go to race number 7, head of the class. The blinkers went on last time. Had a really tough go of it for the opening quarter of a mile. The start was terrible. The speed, better actor with the blinkers. First time gelding. Lots of angles to like for this Kieran McGee runner. I hope we can get to the front early and keep going.
Frosty Beverage on the line between us and here.
There it
Preacher
is.
Myers,
Right.
race number 7. Hammy
Okay.
Smith was good to me with a first-time starter, I think, last week, maybe with a second-time starter here, dropping in class and getting an equipment change. 18 minutes to post. Remember, 12:07 first post time today at Laurel Park. We've got 9 on tap. Main track is fast. Turf is firm. Callie Francois, Dave Rodman will take you through the afternoon. Let's go up to Dave for scratches and changes.
All right, good luck, everybody.